Hi, I'm Wanda from Alanda Craft, and today we're going to do a video about crumb quilting. Now, making a quilt from crumbs is using your very small scraps of fabric that you've got in your stash, and every one of us who do quilting have loads of those. You can see behind me a few of the things that will give you some ideas of what you can do with your crumb quilts. We have building up a piece here to make into a cushion cover. This piece we added some batting and some stabiliser and ran it through the dream machine, and we've embroidered it so it looks quite nice, and we'll do a few more of those and build them into probably a table runner or something. You can add some sashing and you can build it up to a quilt if you want to. You can cut these into any size that you like. Down here we have the piece that I cut the heart from and the coaster, and you can see here it's got Wanda under on it, so you can use it for your applique. These are some other pieces we put together, and we'll decide where to use those as we go along. So you can do all sorts of things with it, and they look awesome. I think they look really great. So let's get on and show you how to do this. So I have my scrap sitting by the side of the machine, and what I'm going to do is pick up two pieces. Now the main thing with this exercise is to make sure you have two straight edges. So I have a straight edge here, and I look around here, and yes, I've got a straight edge on this one as well, and I just match the straight edges, and it doesn't matter that they don't line up, and it doesn't matter that they're all different shapes. Okay, so I'll just sew those two together. Now I pick up another two pieces, and I've got two here. Again, I look for the straight edge, and yes, I've got two straight edges. And again, I'm just going to pop that in the machine. And you can see I'm just chain piecing here, and that's what you'll do. You just pick up pieces two at a time, get your straight edge and sew them together. Now if I have a long piece like this, and I think I might want that echoed throughout my piece of fabric, I can use that by just getting some other bits, finding the straight edges, and just laying them along like this. Okay, and then I'm just going to sew the whole thing together with a 1/4 inch seam. Now what you'll end up with when you do that is something that looks like this. So you can see I've got the two bits that we've just sewn, and I have an assortment of other bits that I've already sewn into two over here. And the idea now is to get a straight edge that encompasses both those colours. So you can do this by either just trimming up the side so that it's straight, or I could trim on this side, or you can go straight down the middle, which is what I'm going to do, and that gives you two pieces to use in your next step. This one here, again, I can just go through the middle and create two crumbs, and so on. Now this piece here, you can see it's an odd angle, but I do have an almost straight side. This one I'll just trim up. Okay, so that's ready to use as well. And you can see here you can cut on angles, it's all good. It doesn't matter as long as you end up with one straight edge. Now this is the bit that we've got 4 pieces attached to, and again I'm just going to cut across so that I have a straight edge with both those pieces on it. And you don't have to trim up both sides, just make sure you've got one straight edge. This one here is on a bit of an angle, so I think I'll just keep that angle. It adds a bit of contrast and interest. And the same with this piece here. And there we are, and then we have a straight edge on that one. So now what we need to do is to add these random pieces together to form 4. So I'll go and do that now and then show you what they look like. So now what we need to do is sew those 2 pieces into 4 patches. So I've got a piece here, and I could sew that along there because I've got 2 straight edges, but this is a nice long straight edge, and I've got a nice long piece on here, and I think I want more of the yellow on there than the orange, so I'll sort of just adjust it and pop it in the machine and sew with a 1/4 inch seam. And there you go, we're starting to build up our material now. And I'll just do the same with the next bit. So grab a piece and another piece, look for the straight edge, and just sew it on again. They don't have to match. We'll be trimming them all up. Now I tend not to iron my pieces or press my pieces before I start. I just pick them out of the bag as they are. But once I get going sewing them together, then I press them between sewing. And again, and we'll just continue on building up our pieces like that. So here I have a longer piece, and I can do the same as we did when we were sewing just the two together. I can take a strip, I could lay it down that way, I can lay it across this way, I can take another piece and just lay it down as well. Here we go. And I can just put the right way up. So always remember you've got right sides together, and I'll just sew down there. Remember you can chain piece as well, as we did in the first lot. I know I cut them off, but that was just to show you. But okay, so we're coming down. And then we'll just cut them and we'll keep building up like this. Okay, so there are the pieces that we've sewn into 4. So again, you just need a straight edge so you can trim them up wherever you like. This funny little piece here, I could come across here. It gives me 2 crumbs. I could just straighten across here. Just whatever you feel like doing. We also have this this longer piece that we did. Again, I could just cut straight across there, or I could bring it down on an angle. So like that. The choice is yours what you do with this. Again, cut across here and cut across here. Now when you've got them into 4, you can also bring in bits that you've still got sitting around, like you might have bits of 2 pieces, and you can again just find your straight edge and join them on. I've got some bits here that I've already completed into and trimmed, but I could actually just start joining those on there. And the idea is just to keep building this up and just using your scraps. You can bring in a long piece and put it in if you wish. It's entirely up to you how you do this, but this is a great way of using up all those little scrappy bits. So that's the whole idea of a crumb quilt. You just keep building it up until you get a square that is going to be the size that you need for your project. So this one here is 10 by 9.5, so I'll probably just keep adding some bits on. In fact, not probably, I will keep adding some bits on till it's around 11, 12 inches, so I can get a nice 10-inch square out of it, because I work a lot with 10-inch squares. But you can make rectangle pieces, and as you've seen, you can also cut out other shapes like hearts and things. So absolutely ideal way to use up all those crummy bits of your scraps, and you know, it'd be really interesting. Share with us what you make over on our website. But if you've enjoyed this tutorial, give us a thumbs up, and we look forward to hearing from you on our Facebook page.